Now to go, truthing or faking? Truth or fake means Catalina at the Big Ball. Good evening to you. In today's edition, we're reviewing the rather confusing claims regarding France's snap elections, some questioning if they're even legal. What can you tell us?
Well, Mark, President Macron's dissolution of parliament and snap legislative elections took everyone by surprise, especially because they take place in only 3 weeks. Many question, how is this possible? Is it even legal? Notably on Twitter, French former ministers of justice such as Marie-Lise Lebranchou and Jean-Jacques Urvoas, who were quick to question the president's decision, claiming there is a problem, saying that the dates chosen for the legislative elections are way too soon. In fact, they say 1 week too early. This according to the French Electoral Code, and Article 157 that states declarations of candidacy must be submitted on the 4th Friday preceding polling day. Hence, what they're saying is that the first round of legislative votes should be held on July the 7th rather than on the established June 30th. Mark.
I must admit, it did have me reaching for my copy of the French Constitution when it was all made public and everybody went crazy. Maybe a different set of laws then applying when Parliament is dissolved. Throw some light on that question.
You did well speaking of the Constitution, Mark, because that is correct. In case of the dissolution of the National Assembly or the French Parliament, it is not the Electoral Code, but the Constitution which applies to summon voters. In particular, Article 12 of the French Constitution, which provides for shorter deadlines than those of the Electoral Code, and it dictates that the French President of the Republic may pronounce the dissolution of the National Assembly and general elections take place at least 20 days at a minimum and 40 days at most after the dissolution of the National Assembly. So in this case, the French president chose the minimum, the 20 days. So although the period is short, it is entirely constitutional and legal. And the Constitution, of course, prevails over the Electoral Code when it comes to the hierarchy between both.
Indeed. My Constitution is a very small book, but it's only thin like that, but it's very useful. So if the National Rally, the Rassemblement National, ends up winning the legislative elections, can its prominent figure, Jordan Bardella, become Prime Minister?
That's the question in everyone's mind. Can he become prime minister? That is what Marine Le Pen stated in an interview with TF1, where she says that if the French trust us, that meaning their party, Jordan Bardella will be France's prime minister, adding that their final goal would be to work as an executive couple, where Marine Le Pen moves towards the presidency of the Republic, and Jordan Bardella moves towards Matignon or the prime minister's office. You also don't have to look too far in the National Rally's account on X. They've posted it everywhere. Jordan Bardella, the prime minister, if you vote on June 30th and July 7th. So is this possible? Let's take a look at the French Constitution again. Article 8 of the French Constitution dictates that it is the President of the Republic that appoints the Prime Minister. So this is regardless of the composition of the National Assembly. So from a strict legal point of view, the President is free of choice. Nothing really obliges the head of state to appoint the head of the winning party in the legislative elections as a prime minister. However, in practice, things get a bit more complicated. If the president does not apply or does not appoint a personality reflecting the composition of the majority of the National Assembly, the president would encounter a parliamentary bloc where the new majority would not vote for his text that his government proposes. So in order for the country to function, Macron will have no choice but to appoint someone from his new majority. And in the profile of Jordan Bardella does stand out as the most obvious choice amongst this party.
28 years old, Jordan Bardella could become possibly the youngest ever Prime Minister of France if this goes through. I'm not too sure about the major historical figures going back and back, but I think in living memory, he must be the youngest ever to be in the running for that job. Catalina, thank you very much indeed for Truth or Fake. Yuka for the business. Thank you as well for joining us. And thanks to you all, wherever you're watching us as well. Do stay with us. More to come here on World Roundup. So 28 years old.